Hey guys, it's CocoaTarot, and today we have a pick a card on the topic of your push and pull effect. Today we'll be looking at how you push and pull people away, and also how people pull and push you away. Thank you to everyone who has been supporting the channel. It means a lot to me. But we have 3 piles to choose from based on the images in the thumbnail. So this will be pile 1, this will be pile 2, and this will be pile 3. And I will see you guys in your piles. Hey, pile 1, we're going to get right into your reading and look into your push and pull effect. If this reading resonates with you when it is over, let me know down in the comments. I'm super curious. And please like this video if you want to see more videos like this. I'm going to get your cards out, clarify it with a message, and then get into the tarot. But you got number 32, enchantment, serenading, flirtation. Make way for the panpipes and violins. You could be someone who has an attractive voice. You definitely know how to ask for what you want or vocalize how you feel about someone, whether that's pulling them in or pushing them out. You also got confidence, mystery, Capricorn, and maliciousness. So pile number 1, when you are pulling someone in, you're super warm. You know exactly what to say. You know how to get on people's good sides. You know how to get what you want from someone. But once you're done with someone or done with a particular energy, person, place, thing, you drop it or you become very stern-faced toward it. There could be people who have been in your good graces and then something happens and it's like you just go cold. For some of you, this could come across in hobbies. You could pick up things and be so in love with them and then just drop them and not be interested in it at all. There are some people in your life that you've had really intimate connections with that now feel as if you treat the connection like it's just business or there's nothing personal about it anymore. Once that switch is flipped when it comes to whether you want to be around a person or an energy, it's flipped and your life becomes a total mystery and you could even just shut people out completely. You become super businesslike, even a little bit harsh to some people. It's super obvious when you are pushing someone away because it could be really hard to access you. You're quite the charmer, though, pile number 1. I'm getting that song by Sabrina Carpenter, Good Graces. When you're in love, it is love, okay? But when it's done, you could even be the type that's like, who's that? Who was that? Oh, huh? You know, you might pretend like you don't even know who that person is. There could be some people who have dealt with you in the past who don't even know why your energy has switched up on them. Maybe you're not the type to even explain yourself or be like, hey, I think things are kind of, especially in friendship dynamics, you will just stop contacting the person or slowly drift your attention somewhere else. And it could feel really malicious to other people, but I don't think you are trying to be malicious. I think you just no longer care. I'm going to be really honest. That's the energy that I'm getting. You're just like, I don't really care enough to explain why this isn't a fit for me. When it comes to professional things, you could be the type who does not put their 2 weeks in. You will quit on the spot. You will leave on the spot. There is this energy of there isn't a warning when pile number 1 is done. They're just done. And maybe this is because you start to see certain aspects or sides to people or job situations that leave a bad taste in your mouth. And as opposed to burning the bridge, you just kind of bow out and say, this is not for me. But from the other end, it could feel very uninterested. When it comes to pulling people in, though, you could be a recruiter. Maybe you were a recruiter at some point, or maybe you're really good at writing a persuasive essay. But you could literally sell something to someone. That's how persuasive you are. You could sell a poison and make it sound like the most delicious juice. Some of you could be singers. Maybe you actually serenade people that you love. You sing for them, you write them songs. You could be a musician. Maybe you play the guitar. When you want to pull someone in, it is almost like Pan. And I don't know if you know the true origins of Peter Pan, but he is a trickster. Captain Hook is actually the good guy. And I'm not saying that you're the bad guy, but if you wanted to, you could be. Maybe there is a lot of restraint that you have because you know your energy can be really cutting with that Capricorn energy, but you're not afraid to cut somebody off. And you're also not afraid to let them know that you're interested. If you like someone, it's written all over your face and your body language. There's no mystery to it. But the mystery comes in when you push people away, because then it's like you're unreadable. I'm hearing someone say, dang, pile number 1 was just in love with me last week. What happened? And I don't think it was for no reason. You peeped something. When you peep something, you literally just evaporate into thin air. There could even be some people who they know you found out the dirt they did. And they're like, dang, pile number 1 doesn't even want to fight about it. They just going to go. They're not even going to make a scene. But we're going to get into the tarot and clarify this. Clarify this for pile number 1. How do they push and pull people away? Okay, we've got the Empress and the 6 of Pentacles. Wow. That's what I mean. I don't think that you do this just to play around with people. People show you who they are or give you an inkling of their strategy, and you even the scales by completely taking your energy out of the equation. Crazy. And that's why it's so easy for you to persuade people and pull them in. You're the Empress. You smell good. You look good. Everything you're saying sounds good. People really have to come correct when it comes to you. Tell me more. The Ace of Swords, the 2 of Cups. Yeah, because your love or your energy, whether you're going to give it to someone, all depends on if they're going to reciprocate that, show some kind of honesty, be truthful in their actions. If someone shows you they don't have integrity, you will quietly pull away. So let's say you're in a situation where it's pretty obvious that someone lacks empathy or there are some narcissistic tendencies in this person. You are not hell-bent on unmasking this person in public like it's Scooby-Doo. And some people could be really baffled by this because they could expect or be wanting you to at least fight with them about it. But the Empress, she doesn't fight about stuff. You know when someone isn't being truthful. And that's when you become cold. But when someone is actually reciprocating and they're showing you love or they're appreciating you, if this is a job, you give equally to that. But you will not give equally to something that won't give to you. Also got the Page of Wands in reverse. The 7 of Wands in reverse, yeah. And the King of Swords in reverse. Whoa, yeah, you go cold. You go cold with the King of Swords in reverse. The Empress and the King of Swords in reverse. That's harsh. Because there's more truth in your silence than there ever is in you having to cuss somebody out. That silence is sharp. It's like, I don't have to say it because you know what you did. Wow. You don't have to explain yourself because you're only going to explain yourself to someone who can match your energy. And a Page of Wands in reverse is like a type of immaturity or lifestyle that you will just not entertain. There's also some people that you could bring up feelings of inadequacy in because you have such a strict moral standard or even just standards in general. And part of your effect is that even other people feel a push and pull where they're inspired by you, but also doubtful that they can measure up to that energy. With the Empress, people could feel really cared for around you. You pay attention to other people's needs, but you do it with a balance. So there could be some people who almost feel like they owe you something after you pull them in or show them some kind of gesture. There is a feeling of, okay, pile number one scratched my back, so I should scratch theirs. With the Two of Cups, there is a soulmate pull here. So you could pull people in who feel connected to you or like they knew you in a past life. Or it could even just be the way you look, the way you smell. There is just a natural pull like, they could be someone, or feel a spark in the connection right off the bat. People could meet you one time and feel like, oh, let me get your number. Let's keep in contact. I want to hang out with you. And they don't even know you. And that's how strong your pull is with the Empress. People want to know you. They want to be pulled in by you. That's why it hurts so much when you go cold. Some people could even misinterpret your honesty or your words as being too sharp or too cutting. But that doesn't mean it's not the truth. You guys can't see it, but with the Seven of Wands in reverse over here, a lot of people drop their defenses around you. So this could also be what is so cutting when you push away, is that they feel like, dang, I was really open and vulnerable with pile number one. They could even feel like you have something over them now. Although the Empress isn't the type of person to just spill people's secrets or anything like that. And even though you would probably never do something like that, people still feel like, would they? I was so vulnerable with them. I told them all those things. So that just might be a projection of their own trust issues. But I think even after you disconnect from people and go business-like with them, you still have that integrity. So you're not just going to be malicious for no reason. And if you are malicious, it's definitely for a reason with the Ace of Swords here. So overall, you pull people in with your nurturing, caring, compassion, the fact that people feel a soulmate connection to you, but you push them away because of an intimidation factor or some kind of unpredictability with your words or honesty. You definitely are exerting some kind of authority. I don't think I've ever had the King of Swords reverse paired with the Empress. It is someone that you really should tread carefully around. So maybe you are a manager, a boss. Maybe you are someone who runs a company or you have employees under you. There is this feeling of wanting to get on your good side and not your bad side, because it will come with worldly implications with the Capricorn here. Maybe you know a lot of people or you have connections. And I'm not seeing you exert that. It's just in your presence. Your presence says, I can be so sweet, but do not try to get one over on me. Some of you guys are super street smart and book smart. You could persuade a businessman, okay? And you could also persuade a lover. And when you push people away, you're not going to hide from them. If you see them in the street, you will walk by like you don't know them. That Kiki Palmer meme, I do not know this man. And if he walked by me on the street, you know, it's that kind of thing. But yeah, pile number one, you're someone where it's a good idea to stay in your good graces. But that is your reading, pile number one. And I hope to see you soon. Bye. Hi, pile two. We're going to get right into your reading and look into your push and pull effect. If this reading resonates with you when it is over, let me know down in the comments. I'm super curious. And please like this video if you want to see more videos like this. I'm going to get your cards out, get into the message, and then clarify it with the tarot. But you got number 36, marriage, agreement, officialization, long live love, and those who love life. Space, okay. Protection, Pisces, and Leo. Wow. Well. You're someone who is really big on protecting your peace. With the marriage and agreement and officialization, you only want to pull in things that are officially yours. You don't want to pull in the riffraff. I'm hearing that song, No Scrubs by TLC. You are big on protecting your peace. But when it comes to pulling things in, it is completely heart-led. Especially with the Leo here too. You pull things in with your love. There are so many energies right now that want more of you. I'm hearing that Nicki Minaj song where she says, you've got something all the girls want. So regardless of your gender, because you view your energy as sacred and not a lot of people get to experience it, it makes people really magnetize to you because they want to be the one that experiences it. They want to be the one that sees pile number two in a way that nobody else gets to see them. And I think that there are a lot of people that you pull in that start to push away other people around you because they want to be the center of your world. This could even be family members, friends. People could get really possessive over you, especially when it comes to matters of the heart. I'm hearing pile number two is mine. If you are a masculine, you could pull in a lot of feminine energies because I'm thinking of how a pride of lions will have one male who mates with all the other lionesses. So your push and pull effect, and my throat, it keeps going out. Your push and pull effect is super magnetic to the point where you make people nervous. People fantasize about you so much and project those fantasies onto you that when they're around you, they might pull away out of nervousness or fear because there's something about your heart energy that just shines. On the Pisces card, it says to be a part of something overwhelming. And mixed with the Leo energy, you could have a very overwhelming effect on people, which is why they push you away. Something about you could cause others to confront feelings or energies that their spirit is just not ready to confront yet. And I keep having to clear my throat. You could be someone who's hard to talk to if that person is not in your inner circle or your pride or your tribe. because you're really affectionate and open when someone knows you. But if it's someone outside of that circle, you could come across as really private or cut off. I'm seeing some people who meet you or get involved in your energy having so much fun, but almost getting overwhelmed by it, by the attraction, the feelings that you make them feel. And then they pull back, create some distance, and then come back feeling even more magnetized by you. So there is this push and pull game that happens between you and other people with how they push and pull on your energy. Don't take this in a wrong way because it's not negative, but people feel like they can only handle you in doses. And maybe it's because you have a lot of character or just a lot of energy. You could be someone who is always ready to go for a walk or a hike or do something fun and full of energy. And some people, maybe they just can't keep up with that, or they're like, all right, you go for that hike, I'm going to go take a nap. And there's a lot of people who try so hard to keep their distance with you, but it's like they can't. They can't stay away from you for too long because there's something about that heart center or the feeling that you give people that they can't find anywhere else. You also pull people in with how protective you are over them, especially if they are a loved one. Your energy is like the sun, pile number 2, okay? People crave it. They have to have it for that vitality. But sometimes the sun can be too hot, or, you have to kind of take a break and put on some sunscreen. Okay, does that make sense? You're just such a big, fiery, full of life individual. And maybe even you could need to take space from people to recalibrate that energy. But we're going to get into the tarot and clarify this for sure. I'm going to move Kitty so you can see the cards. Clarify this for pile number 2. Their push and pull effect. So even when people keep distance with you, they're still in your orbit. They still check in on you. People feel protective of you, almost like they don't want other people to have you. Or you could even have friends who are really protective of you having other friends, or competitive with being, the best friend, things like that. There could be even people who don't talk about you because they don't want other people to know how much of a gem you are. Just really protective in general. Maybe you have a really big family. Tell me more how they push and pull people. Okay. With the 7 of Wands, the 6 of Cups. Oh, okay. The Lovers, the Queen of Swords, the Knight of Swords in reverse, the Emperor, okay, and the Ace of Wands. Yeah, you have super strong energy, okay? Super strong. You are a leader. And that pulls people in because people want someone to follow or look up to or to be inspired by, but it also intimidates people because maybe they feel like you have to always be in control, or you like things to be a certain way. You pull people in with your authenticity and your leadership, but it's crazy because the same reason people love you is the same reason that sometimes can create space. There is something really nostalgic about your energy too. So you could pull people in with that nostalgia, like I said, still in your orbit, or we have memories together, but we had to distance ourselves and now we're back together again and things are good. It's very interesting. For some of you, there could be people who weren't so sure about you until they kissed you or had some kind of deeper conversation or a heartfelt moment. And then that's when they felt really pulled in. Maybe, okay, I'm starting to get this. Pile number 2. It's taking me a minute. But maybe it's like the opposite. Maybe people meet you and you have so much character and pizzazz, it pushes them away. They're like, okay, who the heck is this weirdo? And then as they get to know you, as they get to know your heart, as they get to know, maybe why you have a little bit of a tendency to like things a certain way, then they start to feel this gravitational force of wanting to be in your world. Your push-pull effect is kind of like in the opposite. You pull them in after a brief judgment or, judging a book by its cover. Then people have this revelation of like, oh no, pile number two's got heart. They're not at all what I thought they were. Maybe people could think that you are mean because you have a certain facial expression, or because you're very opinionated, that you're loud, or, but then they start to realize, oh no, they're just really funny, or see these parts of your personality with a different perspective that makes them fall for you. And it's so significant that it took me so long to get there to that message, because that's how people are. That is the effect. It takes a little bit for people to warm up to you. And it's not anything that you're doing that's bad or like nothing like that. It's more of them just being used to certain stereotypes or people acting a certain way. And when you shatter that, they might have to take a second to like pull back and think on it. I tried so hard to get Kitty not to cover your spread, but here he is covering your spread. It seems I will have to read his belly instead of the cards. Okay, so pile number two. You create a strong polarity in other people. They're attracted to you, but they're also thrown off a little bit because they're not used to it. Or you dominate certain spaces in a way that people could reject at first. But then they end up getting motivated or even turned on by your presence. It's like, I don't know about pile number two. This one's kind of, and it ends up turning into, we can't get rid of pile number two. They are a huge factor in this. So people crave your presence, but they also fear getting lost in it. And even if people pull back, they're always orbiting, or literally, like I said, in your gravitational pull. Maybe you're just a really intense person and people just need time to breathe, okay? Maybe you're like Kitty here and you just take up so much space and it's hard to see anything but you when you're in the room, okay? With the Emperor too, you guys could come across really successful. So people could be pulled in by your success, or that your blessings kind of rub off on them. People end up having really beautiful memories with you. And this is where the Six of Cups comes up, because you pull people in with that nostalgia, especially after they know you. I think people are more drawn to you when they already know you as opposed to just being a stranger. Because there's something about once someone sees your heart or feels that energy that comes from your heart, they instantly see you differently. They're already attracted to you in some kind of way, but then your heart makes you even more attractive. So there's parts of you that people who don't know you, they just can't see, because it's protected by a barrier of, you have to kind of get to know my heart to really see me. You're almost invisible to people who can't see your heart. But once they do, they never stop orbiting you. You are the epitome of not judging a book by its cover, because you end up being the best book that someone's ever read, or one of their favorites, or just the type of person that you don't find often. It's so crazy how these piles line up. With the Queen of Swords and the Emperor, you could be kind of sassy, okay? You got a little tongue on you in more ways than one, pile number two. And you could also have really good comebacks. So people could kind of be, playfully teasing you, and then you have a comeback that's like crazy. You definitely pull people in with the way you say things, because you say them in a way that feels really audacious. Or, like the audacity of pile number 2 to say something like that and really not care. You're not afraid to defend your opinion and to explain it further. And with the Lovers and the Ace of Wands, you are a lot of fun to be around. So people do get pulled toward you at times where they feel lighter in their life, and they could push you away when they feel more stressed or sad or are struggling. And maybe you're the type of person that's like, come to me whenever you want, or we can talk whenever you want. But people feel like they don't want to come to you when they aren't in that lighthearted energy, because they see you as always being full of heart and full of that kind of energy, if that makes sense. So people definitely push you away when they're going through their own struggles, even if you try to be there for them. But people get pulled to you with their heart. Their heartstrings get pulled to you. But when they create space and are pushed away, it could be because of their ego or maybe your pride. It's that period of rest where, like I said, you and another energy could have so much crazy combustious fun, and then it butts heads a little bit and has to kind of go apart in order to gravitate back together, like an orbit, And you do seem like someone who pushes people away when you need to recharge. But when you feel like you have enough heart to give, that's when you pull them in. But that is your reading, pile number 2, and I hope to see you soon. Bye. Hey, pile 3, we're going to get right into your reading and look into your push and pull effect. If this reading resonates with you when it is over, let me know down in the comments. I'm super curious. And please like this video if you want to see more videos like this. I'm going to get your cards out, get into the message, and then we will clarify it with the tarot. I think someone just started cutting grass, so hopefully you guys can't hear that. But you got number 7, lover, crush, admirer. The one who occupies the heart also occupies the mind. Peace, anxiety, okay. The 6th house, and news. Huh. Interesting. Pile number 3. You could be someone who gives people advice, or you are a peace factor in other people's lives. And when you pull them in, they feel clued into some kind of information, or like you're supplying something in their daily routine that helps them. So when you push people away, they feel anxiety because they feel like they're missing a part of their routine. If you are a content creator, for example, this could be like when you post, people feel at peace. They feel like part of their routine is still there, that they're learning something from you, whether you do spiritual content or not. And then when you don't post, maybe they feel a lot of anxiety, wondering where you are. And it doesn't have to be if you are a content creator. That's just an example. But people feel incredible anxiety when they are not around you. They feel as if they're missing out on an important piece of information. And you are an integral part of people's routine, or somebody's routine. Whether that's somebody close to you or someone who watches you online. But you pull people in with your knowledge or your practicality. It's literally the news. You're like the news. Maybe you know a lot about something, or not to say that you gossip, but there's a certain amount of information that you provide. And it's a part of people's daily life with the 6th house here. Something they tune into, or they almost feel bonded to, because to feel anxiety when you go away, it's a feeling of, I'm so bonded to this person that I need to have them a part of my routine every single day. So I think a lot of people are pulled into you, but you have to push them away in order to protect your energy or to keep your own peace. Because maybe you feel the opposite. People feel peace when you're around, but you feel anxiety when a lot of people are around because they are constantly asking you for something or wanting you to supply some kind of information. And it could burn you out. So when you pull people in, it might not be that fun for you, or it could cause anxiety. Some of you, maybe you cook or you make a great coffee or you do some kind of art or there's something you do that people just can't get enough of. And it's a comfort for them. You pull people in with your ability to bring calm to the room. Maybe someone here is a yoga instructor or you help someone with their breath work. But it feels like you take on a lot for other people. Let's get into your tarot. I'm really curious to see what comes out. Tell me more about pile number 3. Their push and pull effect for pile number 3. You don't really push people away unless it's a conscious choice. Like people, if they had the choice, other energies around you, they would never be pushed away. They would always be pulled in. Even into knowing about your life. There could be a lot of people interested in knowing facts about you and being pulled in with that. It's like you have the daily tea, or I don't know. Tell me more about pile number 3. With the 3 of Pentacles, the 7 of Cups. Yeah, this is why it feels like you give people advice, or there could be a lot of people that just feel confused about a certain topic or their life in general. And they feel like when they meld with your energy, they can understand something better, whether that's a topic that you talk about or something in their own life. And this is what pulls them in, the fact that you clear confusion for other people. You clear anxiety. You help them feel like there's some kind of peace at the end of the day. You renew people's motivation for life. They feel like they can take on the day. But when you pull your energy away from people and you push them out, they feel like they can't do it anymore, or there's no point in doing anything. You help a lot of people, pile number 3. So just make sure to take care of yourself, because you are a source of motivation for a lot more people than you think. It's like when they come to you, this 4 of Cups could be upright. There could be something in their life that they're missing, they're not seeing. And then after their exchange with you, they're like, oh, I finally see it. I don't have to feel fear anymore. And it could be really addictive to other people. That's why they feel like they need you. And that could be really exhausting for you. For some of you, maybe this is children or family members or people where, it's like, of course they need me, because you bring peace and comfort to people who really need it, like can't live without it. All right, tell me more about their push and pull energy, pile number 3. You're a huge motivator for other people. Maybe some of you guys are a life coach or a personal trainer. Maybe you help people in counseling or some kind of psychology therapy. The 8 of Swords. Yeah, you help people who are struggling mentally with their own situation or the state of the world. And you really help people that are held back by their own conditioning or their own thoughts and judgments of themselves. Got the Moon. Yeah, you really, someone here is definitely a tarot reader or a yoga instructor or someone who deciphers energy that is hard to decipher without some kind of external force, like a shaman or a priestess, or you know what I mean? You don't have to be those things, but there is this energy of you deciphering moon energy for other people, things that are hidden, things that they can't explain. Okay, so maybe some of you could work in the medical field and you help diagnose people from symptoms that are hard to explain. It's giving that energy. You are able to help people put into words what they can't, or figure out an ailment, or notice something that they didn't notice before. There's also the Knight of Cups, the Two of Wands, and the Ten of Pentacles. You're seen as someone who can easily get into people's head or their heart, spaces that aren't easily seen by most people. And because of this, you are unforgettable. And it could, even with the crush energy and the Knight of Cups, stir a lot of attraction in some people because you read them in a way that other people can't. Some people could even be baffled with how deeply you actually hit home for them, how you could know these things about them or articulate feelings that they've never told anybody else. There is a feeling of people admiring your skills. Maybe that's why with the 6th house, it's like you're teaching people something. You are a teacher of some sort, or you explain things to people in a way that's easy to understand. There are some people who get lost in this fantasy of imagining what it would be like to be even closer to you. Because if you can give that much insight through a screen or just someone who isn't really close to you, what is it like to be your best friend or married to you, or to have access to that knowledge constantly? And you could be knowledgeable in something that's not even spiritual. You could be a professor or something. So your time is really valuable because the things you say, people want to take notes. They want to pull out their notebook and be like, hold on, let me write that down, because it's valuable information that they could use to uncover something with the moon here. You do come across as romantically available. I don't know if you're single or not, but people do see you as the whole package or someone worth building a future with because of your knowledge in a certain area. If some of you guys are really into like the news, or it feels like information that could really help someone, even if it's just tips on psychology or makeup tips or whatever it is for you, it makes people want to hear from you. You could talk about anything and people would value your opinion on it because they feel like your opinion is valuable, that it means something. There's a lot of people that have a fantasy of forever with you. The 7 of Cups and the moon is super fantasy based, especially with the Knight of Cups. People do feel as if you would be an asset to their life romantically, either because of a skill that you have or even just your presence, the way that you think about things or talk about things. You're seen as someone who is easy to merge energy with, which is why people get really pulled in. And it's crazy because there's not a lot of push in your pile. People don't really want to be pushed away by you. So this could be why there's a call for you to kind of protect your energy, because it does give you anxiety, and it's because people just want a piece of your energy. People also admire your vision. They get pulled in by your vision because they can see it working for them. There's something about you that's practical. You don't spew ideas that don't make sense or would take too much to make tangible. Whatever you talk about or whatever you do it in a way that seems like second nature or really makes sense to people, even if it's a topic that is hard to understand. You put it in a way that people can easily digest and actually use and implement into their life. So if you do have some kind of big vision or dream or plan for the future, a lot of people can really see this happening easily or envision it themselves because it makes sense. Something about you makes sense to others. That's why when it comes to the push, you have to physically push people away for them to go. That's why it says exiled here. They have to be exiled. You have to be like, okay, go, because people will not leave on their own. A lot of people feel dedicated to you or your mission or your train of thought. There could even be people who look up to you or see you as a role model or someone that they want to model their skill set. So for example, at work, you could have people at work that ask for tips or want to do certain things the way that you do them because they see that how you do it actually works or makes the routine easier. You could know a shortcut, but if not a shortcut, you just do things in a way that makes the task easy and less of a struggle. Some of you could be financial advisors with the 10 of Pentacles here. So that could also be why people get really addicted to you, because they're like, I need help with this, important factor of my life, such as finances or how to achieve a certain manifestation. There is an energy here, and I've been feeling it, the whole energy. You would make a great news anchor or someone who tells people the news if you don't do that already, because you have a journalistic quality to you where you will supply information in a way that still has integrity and truth. Overall, pile number 3, people feel devastated when you push them out. So just remember to protect your energy and create good boundaries, because people, if you don't create them, they are just going to linger, because that's how valuable you are to people. You're super valuable. I'm hearing that song. I don't know what it's called or who it's by, but it's called Just the Girl I'm Looking For. You don't have to be a feminine energy, but people are always looking for you and making sure you're around because you are a comfort space for them. But that is your reading, pile number 3, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.